Hi, Lynn Tucker Carnivore here, and I've got some explaining to do. Many of you may have seen this picture. Yep, we went out and we celebrated. I'm going to hold this in my hand so that my video is short. That'll help me remember to keep things succinct. Anyway, we went out and celebrated because we sold our house and the house closed. And this has been a very long ordeal, but we had it happen like that, we figured out through Providence. The reason being, the sweet family that got our house will now be able to bring their two little girls up in with country values and around horses and cows and donkeys and goats. It'll be a really fun experience for them, and they'll get to understand about working the land. They want to have chickens, and it's going to be so good for them and good for America because they'll be brought up with two loving parents and exposed to nature and understanding how to work the land a little bit because they'll have some. And it's just, I'm very excited for them. And the littlest one just turned, like, I think she may be working on her 4th month on Earth here. So she wouldn't have even been born when we first put the house on the market. So all worked out beautifully. And so we had to celebrate. So we did. And I wrote in the little description that we had the little bit of shrimp cocktail, 3 shrimp, woo, and a little dab of the cocktail sauce because I loved that. I always did. That was like my only thing that I thought of that had any real spiciness to it. How weird is that? I know. Anyway, I was a boring eater. The other thing is, I was kind of sweating it because I knew we wanted to have a cocktail. And I was going, should I or shouldn't I? Can I or can't I? I can't drink a whole glass of wine anymore. It's been over 2 years, like well over 2 years. Can I do that? And there it was, my very favorite kind, which was, well, Cabernet or Bordeaux. And there was Jordan Cab by the ounce. It was wonderful. I was like, the good Lord actually said, Lynn, I know you're celebrating, so here's a little ounce for you, because that's about all you can handle. And I was thinking how wonderful that was. And so I did with our favorite glasses too. It was just, it's like the angels knew exactly how to treat me on a really small scale that day. So that was fun. And then we had a burger patty with cheese. And I know to ask, and I should have asked, and I didn't ask because I was caught up in the moment. It was fun. It was happening. We were in a hotel that had been, I think, built in 1900. It was just a lot of swept up in the moment. And I didn't find out about the seed oils. So, and I didn't find out too much about the cheese because it was a slice of American cheese. Can you imagine? You know, up your game, people. Anyway, so, we had that, and right after I finished that, I was like, it had seed oils in it. I know it did. I can just feel this feeling come back into, you just feel yucky, you know? I don't know if you haven't experimented, don't. If you have issues, if you are really sugar addicted, which 95% of America is, so don't be feeling alone, don't experiment. Really act as if you are allergic to it. Or if you need something stronger in your head to think of as a way to deal with this, you are like life-threatening allergic to it. Because it will be life-changing, so I guess that would threaten your life. Think about it. If you were an alcoholic, you wouldn't go, well, maybe I'll just try an ounce of beer. No, because that would lead to the bottle of the beer, etc., right? Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here, and we need to take this seriously. I can moderate, and that's why I do all the experimenting that I do, because I want you to know what it feels like without having to go through it, because who wants that crap? And believe me, we felt like crap all the rest of the day. I had that weird little headache that's not really a migraine or anything. It was just, that little stabbing pain up here. So had that. Then I just felt gross, and I craved ice water, and I craved that dinner that night so that I could eat more pure meat and drink more plain water to flush it out of my system. It was very strange how much water I craved and wanted and drank. I just drank and drank and drank. I got up 2 times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So that's a lot of water. Anyway, so that's what happens, I guess. Your body is trying to cleanse itself. And then, trying to think what else I can help you with. I also realized I've done this before where I've been in social situations and haven't had to eat anything or drink anything that they were drinking and had a perfectly wonderful time. Never slurred a word and made it home safely. So these are all important safety tips about another reason to be carnivore. So keep that in mind. We had a really good time, but even today, we weren't feeling our best. It kind of reminded me when I was back doing holiday celebrating with friends, and that was like, what really hit me, I started in July of 2023. Well, by Christmas of 2023, I didn't want to I felt guilty if I didn't try things that they had worked so hard to make. Couldn't just sit there and chomp down on the meat we brought. So I had a little bit of the sourdough bread that was made all, the best you can make it with the heritage, whatever you're supposed to have. And I started to get a headache from that, just like this headache from yesterday. And I had a little bit of salad. It means you have a little bit of glyphosate. I don't think that's a good thing either. And then my sweet little friend, granddaughter, kind of honorary granddaughter, kind of wonderful bestest friend, wanted me to split a brownie with her. What are you going to do? So I did. I mean, it wasn't hard to do, believe me, but, you don't want to, because you want to get pure in the inside, right? So we did that. I came home. I was just bawling. I felt terrible. I wasn't like weeping, but, you just get depressed, really depressed. But the seed oils, I'm telling you, don't do it unless you really screw up and you didn't ask like I didn't, and you didn't take it seriously. Take it seriously. Those things are nasty. I mean, that's like really bad tequila or something, if you need something to reference it, where you just, you feel like you're poisoned. You do. You really do. So take my advice. Celebrate with a glass of sparkling water. Add some ice. You really want to go crazy, you might have a lime wedge. But that's all you need, It's the little things that we need to learn to appreciate. The people around us that we need to learn to appreciate more. And the stories that they have to tell. This couple that sat next to us talked about how they got married. It was late in life, and it was in Vermont, and it was a period piece wedding where they came up in a horse-drawn carriage. They all dressed in the garb of like the 17 or 1800s, I forget which. And they just had story upon story of how cool this was. Really interesting people, very humble, very kind, really fun, that wanted to have an adventure that didn't center around the things we're so traditionally used to. They had the food of that time that they enjoyed too. So, that food was better than what we're eating now. And you don't realize the stories, the life that these people around us are going through, the things you could listen to and help them, either with a problem or be jazzed for them for an experience. How many of our friends have been genuinely jazzed for us about something that happened in our life that took them out of their life in order to remember about our life? It just doesn't happen that much anymore. We got to start doing that for other people, because it's going to be a trend, just like carnivore, because it has so much goodness attached to it. So do that. I had a friend who recently did this in amongst a situation where her little puppy well, he's not a puppy anymore, but was feeling terrible. And she remembered that our house was going to close and asked me if it finally did yet. And I mean, in amongst her feeling so bad about her own little dog, that, you know, it's people like that that we can all become and we can all appreciate more. And I think when there is less information about the food we're eating and more information about who they are and what they've gone through and maybe how we can help them, that's the best. So anyway, 10 minutes. You have better things to do than listen to me. So I'll see you on the next one, and stay carnivore. Be healthy.